anything in your life, if you do it compulsively, it becomes ugly, isn't it so?
Compulsiveness is coming from ingrained memory. You can call it genetic, you can call it karmic, you can call it by many other names, but essentially, memory has taken over your life. You can make this a compulsive pattern. That is, every day at 12 o'clock, at 2 o'clock, warm drink. You need it, you don't need it. This is called developing good habits. There are no good habits. All habits are bad because
as you mentioned, the children should not be taught yoga or the inner science when they are kids. So when do we actually start the process of thinking pure and not letting the impure thoughts into you?
Where did you get this pure thought and impure thought business? Not me. Thought, whatever kind of thought you have, whatever thought you generate on your mind is only coming from the data that has already been fed into you, isn't it so? You can use it, permutations and combinations of it and produce million varieties, but essentially thought is coming from the data that has already been fed into you. If you go about sifting in the mind, what is pure thought, what is impure thought, oh, you will go. And if you're trying to curb the impure thought and produce pure thought, you've finished. All the things that these so-called religions told people are sins, they have become the full-time activity of human mind. If they had just left them alone, everybody according to his inclination would have gone where he has to go. Now it's not like that, it's painted in everybody's mind because they said, this is a sin, do not think about it. Endlessly they're thinking about it. They're not even as free as dogs and cats are, human beings. Simply because somebody put this idea that there's something pure and impure. Whatever impure things you learnt at the age of 25, I do not know. I have not come in touch with anything impure in the world yet. I don't know where you came in touch with all these impure things in 25 years. I have not seen anything impure in this world, have you? Have you seen something impure? I have not seen anything impure in this world. There are different kinds of people with different kinds of problems and limitations and nonsense. I don't think it's impure. It's a process of purification. In different stages of purity, I see people. And first of all, this idea of pure and impure is a very sick idea. There's just life around you. There's only life around you. If you're labeling certain aspects of life as pure and certain aspects of life as impure, there is a serious problem. I want you to understand this problem is far more serious than most people really look at. It is that serious. Right now, many religions and cultures on the planet have labeled the fundamental biology itself as impure. Yes? Yes or no? The basic biological processes themselves as impure. Sexuality is impure, a woman's menstrual cycles are impure. What the hell, you're born out of it, then you are also impure, everything in the world is impure, creation is impure. If you like that word, you can use it. But who are you to decide what is pure and impure? This is the way life is made, isn't it? It all depends on how you do what you do, isn't it? With how much awareness you approach it. The same things can become beautiful, the same things can become ugly, depending upon who is doing it and how he is doing it, isn't it so? Yes. Something as simple as eating. Eating can be a beautiful experience, not just for nourishment, even as an experience, it can be a beautiful experience. Somebody eats like this, you just look at that whack. Everything can be done like this, isn't it so? Who is doing it? How it is being done, that's what makes the difference. So this prejudice as to what is pure and impure has destroyed this humanity in such a bad way. Pure thoughts and impure thoughts, oh, if you sift through this, you're finished. All thoughts are just junk, okay? Essentially, they're coming from the limited experience of past. These thoughts are useful for your survival process. You picked up some amount of information, you want to survive in the world, this information is useful. If you're looking at life itself, these thoughts are meaningless. What happened yesterday actually has nothing to do with what's happening right now in this moment, isn't it so? But in terms of your survival in the world, you need to remember a few things. You need to use your old knowledge to earn your living on the planet. But in that, don't brand something as pure and impure. This can completely freak your life out. There's nothing pure, there's nothing impure. Life is just the way it is. It's for you to make it wonderful or make it ugly. Every aspect of your life. Yes? Every aspect of your life. You can either make it beautiful or you can make it ugly. If you're aware, you will make it beautiful. If you're doing things compulsively, you will make it ugly. Anything in your life, if you do it compulsively, it becomes ugly, isn't it so? If you do it consciously, it can be made beautiful, everything. From the smallest thing to the biggest thing, everything can be made beautiful if you do it consciously. And everything can be turned to an ugly mess if you do it compulsively.
My question is about compulsion, eating compulsion, drug compulsion, feeding compulsion, every compulsion in life, and how this is connected with a lot of noise and disturbing that we have inside. How we express this noise inside through the compulsion to outside.
What you call as compulsive is, generally, people only recognize compulsive physical behavior. Somebody is addicted to drink, somebody is addicted to something else, somebody compulsively is abusive or something else negative that they cannot avoid doing is considered compulsive. But we must look a little deeper. The very way we sit and stand, largely it's compulsive. Maybe if you're practicing Hatha Yoga, slowly how you sit, how you stand is becoming a conscious process. Otherwise, it's largely compulsive. If we see your shadow, how you sit down, we almost know who it is, because you sit in a particular way, you stand up in a particular way. Have you noticed this? Every body has its own compulsive patterns. Compulsiveness is coming from ingrained memory. You can call it genetic, you can call it karmic, you can call it by many other names, but essentially, memory has taken over your life. What spiritual process means is to create an awareness, to become conscious in such a way that we override the memory, not just in small levels of compulsiveness of behavior or food or whatever else. But in the very compulsiveness of life, which has to go through cyclical process of life and death, to beat the ultimate compulsion is the longing to be born and the inevitable process of life and death. So when we use the word mukti, I know today there are mukti chocolates and ice creams, but it's okay, they're making the word popular. At least that way you use the word. So, essentially compulsiveness means something is going cyclical. You are not able to beat the cyclical movement that's happening within you, either psychologically, emotionally, energy-wise or physically in your behavior patterns. Maybe you are noticing only the behavioral patterns, the compulsive nature of your behavior. You are not noticing the compulsive nature of your thought unless it becomes very acute, compulsive nature of your emotion, compulsive nature of the way the energy patterns move, and above all, the compulsive nature of your very existence. Every aspect of life is influenced by memory. To what extent it dominates will decide how compulsive you are. It is like… I think I said this some time ago. Swami creeps upon me every day, but not compulsively. When on the headphones they hear my voice is little going like that, he's coming with a warm drink, which sometimes I drink and sometimes I don't. But you can make this a compulsive pattern. That is, every day at 12 o'clock, at 2 o'clock, warm drink. You need it, you don't need it. This is called developing good habits. There are no good habits. All habits are bad because habit means you're trying to operate in a compulsive pattern. When you feel thirsty, you drink water. No, not like that. Doctor tells you every day 3 liters of water, half the time you're in the pee place. No, doctor should not tell you when to drink water. You must be conscious when you need water. Something so simple. But no, it's all set. When it's all set, it looks like you're functioning efficiently. Yes, you are. Efficiency without a heart is no good, it's cruel. Adolf Hitler is very efficient, but inhuman. This is what will happen in everybody's life. Unknowingly you become tyrannical. Maybe you will never be fortunately as capable as him, but you will become equally cruel to yourself and everybody around you because you have your stupid sense of discipline. Now, but Sadhguru, if I don't wake up my children at 6 o'clock, they will wake up at noontime. It is true. It is true. You have to wake them up at 6 o'clock, otherwise they may become sloth. So this is a fine game. Life is a fine game. If you want to do it in a crude way, you can do it. But if you want to do it well, it's a fine game. The same thing can be done in many different ways. So, Sadhguru, how do I wake up my children, Sadhguru? In a conscious way, at 6 o'clock in the morning, because they have to go to school at 7. Well, there are many situations in the world which not entirely our making, but we have to sync with it. Otherwise, we will become disaligned with everything. We have to wake up the child to send him to school at 7. This happened. At 7 o'clock, not 6, a mother came for the 10th time since early morning and shook her son, "Wake up, you need to go to school." He said, "Mama, nobody likes me in school. The teachers don't like me. The rest of the staff don't like me. The bus drivers hate me. I don't want to go to school." So the mother said, "No, you must be responsible, you have to go to the school. After all, you are the principal." To fulfill certain situations, we create certain patterns, but the pattern can be conscious pattern. It may be a rigid pattern, but a conscious pattern for a period of time to fulfill certain situations. But it need not become a part of our system. If you go with the rhythms of nature, nature some things will happen in certain ways. Isn't that also compulsive? That every year in the month of June, monsoon should come. Is that not compulsive? It is. That is the nature of… that is the physical nature of the existence. It is by patterns, set patterns. Unfortunately, even the monsoons are becoming a bit conscious and not coming. That's an unfortunate break of pattern. But physical nature is made of patterns. Whether individual atom or a cell or a molecule or the entire system, this is the way physical is made. This is the difference or distinction a human being knowingly or unknowingly trying to establish that I am something beyond the physical. No spiritual teaching might have gone into an individual person, but still even that person is trying to somehow prove to himself or herself that I am something more than physical. If somebody treats you just as a physical entity, you don't like it, isn't it? Hello? Physicality falls into set patterns. A dimension beyond physical doesn't fall into any set patterns. That is where it is from that dimension, the very idea of consciousness has risen in human mind. Human beings right now, in the evolutionary scale of things, are like, let's say a bird which was left in a cage for a long time. Then, after many years, the cage door is left open, but the bird never makes an attempt to fly because it's gotten used to the cage. It's gotten identified with the cage and it doesn't fly. This is human nature right now. In the evolutionary scale of things, what was a crawling creature now has become like this. Now, the lid is blown away, but still we don't crawl out, simply because of habit. The genetic influence causing compulsive behavior. This happened. A 3-year-old boy told his friend, "When I grow up, I will marry the girl next door." So the friend asked, "Why?" So the boy said, "Because I'm not allowed to cross the street." So, compulsiveness, don't try to counter it, don't try to forcefully beat it. You just have to become conscious. This is like the light and darkness business. You don't fight with the darkness, that will be foolish. Compulsiveness is an expression of lack of consciousness. You don't have to fight it. If you become more conscious, compulsive patterns will just disappear. It is like if you turn on the lights, darkness is gone. You don't have to fight with it. If you fight with darkness, you are on an endless fight.